Today is October 7th. The Yankees avoid elimination. They come back. They were down 6-1. It was awful. It was awesome. Let's talk Yanks.
Recaps galore, weekly awards,
Headlines.
and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talkin' Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD producing. It's 11:51 p.m. on October 7th, and the Yankees season is not over. There's another game, and if you want to go to it, maybe tickets are available. Maybe you can find some at SeatGeek. If you do, use code JMPlayoffs for 10% off, and be loud when you're at the game. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code JMPlayoffs at SeatGeek. Jake, how do you do?
James Davis, everyone tuning in. How we doing? Better than where we were at about 8:30 to 9. That was crazy. We saw the bad Yankees come out. Rodon didn't have his A stuff. The defense didn't have their C stuff. And down 6-1 at home, the Blue Jays, who bludgeoned us for a weekend, there was just a sniff of hope. Like, Bieber didn't feel great. But down 5, about to get swept, isn't a situation any team has come back from. I just get sent a nerd stat from Dalton that teams were 0 for 38 when down 5+ runs when you're about to be swept. So that's a pretty low spot.
And that's a similar.
That's not the other one.
Biebs was 39. The Blue Jays were 39-0 when they had a 5-run lead at any point in the season. Mm-hmm. And to add to that, I talked about game 2, how the Yankees were losing, and it wasn't embarrassing defense or stupid plays or just like dumb. Like, there was no like nitpicking. It was like, they just beat us. We pitched bad. They hit good.
Yeah.
This was embarrassing first couple innings. Everything that you would say can't happen, happened. They walked the guy in front of Vladdy, and then he throws a 2-0 pitch in the zone to Vladdy. I was begging you, just walk him. He hits a 2-run homer. The one guy that can't do that. That was so crazy. Ben Rice fields a ball, has a moment of hesitation looking for Rodon, realizes he has to take it himself, can't beat him to the bag. That was 5th inning replays all over from last year.
I know, it's funny that happened in the second. They didn't score that inning. There was also a hit by pitch.
A hit by pitch.
To the 9-hole hitter.
There was a catcher's interference that's not embarrassing by the Yankees, but that went against them.
Crazy.
That sucked. The Trent hit by pitch where it hit his foot went against him in game 2 or 1. That's like, and then Belly can't make that diving play or sliding play. And when he does throw it in, Jazz does not realize the guy's scoring and just turns and is like, oh my God, what? Then the next play, Belly doesn't really charge the ball on left, and Vladdy's running. Yankees, they're going to run on you. Be prepared to play active defense. Then Schneider ran from second. I think Judge could have cut that run down, not got him out at the plate, but he could have thrown it to the infield quickly and maybe would have sent him, because when you watch it, the third base coach doesn't send Schneider, I believe it was, until after Judge turns his back to throw it to second. So it was, Rodon has to come out of the game. He doesn't last. So not only were they down 5, they were down in embarrassing fashion. It was like, oh my God, they're going to lose. And the first 2 games, they just were the worst team. Now they're doing what they did last year in the World Series and crumbling. So that will, I don't care to admit when I'm down and out on the team. Right. I said they need to score 4, have a 4-run lead before I get excited. They got it to a 3-run lead.
They got it to 3. They almost got you. Yeah, it was bad, and it was flashbacks to Game 5 is Cody Bellinger, who's made that sliding catch. How much sliding catch analysis did we do earlier this year when Belly was making them and Dominguez couldn't do it?
We've talked about how Belly can make that sliding catch in the way.
It's part of his signature. It felt like he made it every time this year, that this one didn't even feel like an 8 out of 10 difficulty, and I've seen him make 10 out of 10, and it just goes off the side of his glove. He almost overslides. It would have been a double play. Schneider is face down in the dirt in dead man's land, that it would have been a double play to get out of the inning. But yeah, that was about as low as it could feel.
If I'm Belly, I'm in right field, and I slide. He overslid it, hit this way?
I believe it hit like the side. So
The wind.
it's tough. It could have been wind. There was a lot of wind this game.
A lot of wind.
Or a lot of ghosts.
11 mile per hour wind. Wasn't strong enough for that Judge ball, but was strong enough for the error before that. That led to a lot of that stuff. IKF also gifted us an error. He's been very kind. They come out of the game. They're like, hey, IKF, we know you enjoyed your time in pinstripes. Helping him out too much.
The IKF Barger combo.
Yeah.
Gave us some love today, which that was a weird feeling for a little bit when you're like, I think half of our runs, I think when it was 6-3, half of our runs had come via a Barger IKF boof.
Yes.
Not great. Not great, Bob.
Both starters looked really bad. I mean, Rodon didn't get helped out, but he also didn't really have much for him. He goes 2.1, 6 earned runs. Bieber, on the other hand, that IKF played, we're showing it right now on YouTube. I know it was pretty textbook. Or it just ate him up. And then Shane Bieber, he goes 2.2, 5 earned runs. They both only struck out 2. So, yeah, that ball did just hit him. Jazz has no idea he's running. Sorry, we're looking at the replays right now. What I liked is, and I said this, and we can talk about the Yankees offense, break it down a little more, but they put up 7 runs in game 2. It wasn't really against any of the guys that the Blue Jays care about us putting runs up against. But this, Fluharty's been good for them. They scored a run off him. No hits, mind you, but they scored a run off him. Varland comes out. He's the one that shut the door on Stanton in game 1.
Yeah.
He's pretty nasty. He comes out, and Judge gets him on, man, a cementing swing for Judge's personal storyline. That's what he needed, because now his stats are insane.
Looney Tunes.
But that home run, I mean, I don't know. We can talk about it all you want. I mean, now Judge has the big game-tying home run to get his team back in the game. He's got a 500 batting average on the postseason and a 1.3 OPS. And he hit a ball for a home run that he had no business hitting for a home run. 100 miles per hour, way inside on him, and he's able to hook it, and it stays fair. Honestly, that is Rookie of the Year movie scene where they're waving. Like, that's the slow-mo. Go fair, stay foul. Go. No. Go foul, stay fair. Go foul, stay fair. Rookie of the Year.
Normally, how composed Judge is, you
Edit
see him
that
lean
scene
it
together for me.
Well, someone will edit that scene together for you, maybe. But you see Judge standing at home plate. That as you're watching from home, you're just like, no way, right? Like, because Judge normally he's so under control that if he does something like that, he almost starts into the jog or takes a couple power steps. He was watching with us. He didn't know, and how could he? The wind was crazy, except on that play. The Ghosts.
Outpowered the wind.
Hits not the netting of the pole. It hits the pole. Tie game. And, yeah, it changes the whole narrative of Judge's season or postseason. It changes the complete dynamic of the game, that it's somehow 0-0 again. And the Blue Jays, and this is where do or die, and I don't know, kind of the beauty of sports a little bit. The Yankees hadn't used their now A and B pen. Bednar and Williams is the A. The B is now Hill and Doval, that those guys haven't gotten a ton of work. And the Blue Jays, the Yankees get to their 2 best lefties in Fluharty and Little, and Louis Varland looked like the bad man out of their bullpen. And they got to all of those guys while their manager, Schneider, also had to be careful about how they use them because they're doing a bullpen day tomorrow. So no Toronto, don't hit that second T. No Toronto reliever threw more than 20 pitches. Not that any of them were cruising enough for him to stick with them. So as we're emphasizing the hitting, I'm excited for us to give our bullpen some love because we haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, Doval has now in 2 games really looked the part. They do everyone besides Weaver and Blackburn, which shows you how much Weaver's fallen out of the circle of trust. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
They got it done. Fernando Cruz
Yeah.
comes in to relieve Rodon. He strikes Barger out swinging and then gets a ground out to end that inning. Comes back out the next inning, and then that's where he looked really nasty. Those at-bats to Springer and Schneider, the splitter looked how it looked earlier in the season for the first time. He did not show it to Vlad, which I was surprised. He got Vladdy out by only throwing 4-seam fastballs.
I wonder if Vladdy has a slight tell, because when you look at his batting stance, he has a lot of movement. Like he has the toe tap and the arm load. That we saw him against Devin Williams. He was sitting changeup. I think against Cruz, he was sitting whatever that pitch is. That, we've seen it be so dominant for Vladdy because his stats are still in video game land. But yeah, Cruz.
He did get a single.
When's the last time we saw a Cruz stat line that was 1.1 with 3 Ks?
I don't know.
I mean, we can actually.
You can look at it, but I think he hasn't been striking a lot of people out. Doval comes in to get the last out of that inning. He gets Kirk to ground out, all sliders to him. He stays in to get 2 outs in the 5th inning. Varsho strikes him out. He gave up the Clement double, which scared us, but then Santander lined out to Judge, who made a nice play, and Santander didn't tag up on it. And Judge went to the ground. The little slide, the little protective fall from Judge.
The protective Judge fall. Yeah, Santander's not out there for his running. So.
No, just recapping the inning, trying to give people just the memories of it. Then they bring in Tim Hill for Barger. That at-bat goes 6 pitches, and he strikes him out. Then Tim Hill stays out and does his part again and gets through the whole inning in the 6th. And we were like, wow, keep him out there maybe if they score more runs because Tim Hill looked pretty good in that inning against Jimenez, Springer, and Schneider. And that Schneider at-bat was huge because Vladdy's up after him.
Yeah.
And then that would make Boone have to make a decision. Okay, I got to bring in my reliever out early now to face Vladdy. We got to because it's Devin next. That was huge inning from Tim Hill.
Well, and it's crazy what 1.1 has turned into in this sport where bullpens have become the lifeblood of games when the starters combine to go 2.2 and 2.1 respectively. Yeah. And respectfully for your ancestors. But, man, those 3 1.1s from the Yankees with Cruz, Hill, and Williams, that's an inning.
Yeah.
That's Luke Weaver, who currently still not an option. So those were massive efforts. And, God, I feel like we ended up saying it so many series, and it was like the end of the episode, and it was an afterthought. Bednar, bro. 1.2, no hits, no walks, 2 Ks. Postseason baseball. That's one of our best starts.
Did any reliever walk anybody?
0 walks out of the bullpen.
Huge. We haven't seen that.
And 9 strikeouts.
Wow.
9 strikeouts, 0 walks out of the bullpen. Really impressive stuff. Really impressive stuff. Hey, before we get into it, we do, there's a lot of people that help put on this show, and Lids is one of them, people. And it's Lids. Have you ever worn a baseball hat? Probably came from Lids, and there's no better place to get gear this postseason than Lids, where you can find all your Yankee stuff, all your whatever, new releases, any of the classics, like the New Era Authentic Collection, on-field apparel, and Lids just leveled up. They've got Topps trading cards at all Lids stores. So right now, Lids is hooking up our listeners with an awesome offer. All you have to do is text Yanks to 29017. That's Yanks to 29017. You'll receive 20% off your next headwear or apparel purchase. Some exclusions do apply. Jim, we kind of covered up to the comeback. We gave the pitching their love.
Yeah, we can do. Well, we didn't do Williams. He strikes out the side, and he does his first time this season pitching in multiple innings.
Yeah.
He never pitched in an inning, went to the dugout, watched his team hit, and then came back out. All season, he has not done that. So he was asked to do that for the first time. He gave up a single in that 8th inning to open it up. Or was it a double?
It was a single, and it was seeing eye-ish. It was Clement. It was perfectly between, I think it was Rosario's last inning and Volpe at shortstop. But yes.
And then they keep him out there versus the lefty, and he gets the strikeout. It was a 3-2 pitch, I believe. It was a big pitch. You're going to put the second guy on, and then Bednar's going to have to come out and get 6 outs and inherit 2 runners, or you're going to strike him out, get him out. Now Bednar's going to come out, get 5, and he only got 1 guy on. He got him out. That was a huge pitch. And then he calls on El Oso to get 5 outs. Bednar gets it done.
Yeah, and Bednar hadn't pitched since last Thursday, and Williams hadn't pitched since last Wednesday. So, again, when we're talking about those small wins from just getting destroyed in Toronto, those guys were rested, and it pays off in today's game. So, kudos to Devin, who what a roller coaster year it's been with him. And yeah,
fastest pitch of his season.
Fastest pitch of the season, 97.1. So he literally had a little extra in there. Amazing performance by the bullpen. And dude, again, the game was so ugly that when I first brought up the box score, a follow-up snaps for Fernando Cruz.
Yeah.
Because that game could have just ended, and it could have been 8-1, and we would have said, screw these guys, and they don't have it. The pitching ran out. The offense ran out. That's a guy that we thought was out of the series, basically.
Yep. As far as lineup moves, first thing they did was early on, they had a shot against Fluharty, I believe, and they pinch hit Rosario, the righty, to face the lefty. There was 2 runners on, a lefty pitcher. They need runs. They bring in their righty bat. He pops out to the catcher, doesn't get done, and then a ball gets hit to third that McMahon might have been able to get, and Rosario can't. I'm not mad at the move. At that point, you needed offense. He's there to hit lefties. McMahon's looked good, but didn't work out. Rosario gets a hit later on against a righty and comes around to score from second on a ball hit to right field, I believe. So that worked out. And then later on, they bring Goldie in for Rosario and move Caballero. Goldie pinch hits for Rice. Right?
No, Rice took the at-bat. Rice got the sac fly.
Oh, yes. Rice took the at-bat. Then they brought in their defensive replacements.
So, yeah, that was interesting. They left Rice in for the left-on-left and then did sub him out the next inning.
I think they were looking for a homer, big 3-run homer, or the sac fly. Rice's outs are deep in the air.
Or maybe trying to spark Rice, you know?
Yeah. Or it was just a move against Schneider's moves.
Yeah.
Like if he did pinch hit Goldie there, then Schneider goes to another pitch. Or I don't know the full thought process there, but that could be in play. Is that it was like a managerial chess move to leave Rice in. They do shore up the defense at the end, and you see Caballero make a nice play at third to end the game. Caballero also got a single.
Got a single after it looked like he hurt his wrist, so I guess we'll see if there's any updates that come out on that. But yeah, there's an interesting third base conversation for tomorrow that we'll have in probably 5 minutes or so, or left side of the infield conversation, because I think the other thing that we have to get to, Jazz's homer.
Forgot about it.
From the cut scene of Jazz Chisholm not making the throw and the cameras finding him in a low moment where he's got, not his gamer face on, kind of a punched in the mouth face, to him crushing a homer off the side of the second deck with a cool bat flip back to the Jazz smiling face to give the Yankees the lead 7-6 after being down 6-1 is insane. That inning continues on. And Austin Wells, who we've talked about a lot this year, man, on the YouTube, you just saw Louis Varland get ripped by Jazz Chisholm. The dugout. We got our best dugout celebrations of the year this year. I mean, that's obvious for the situation on hand. And then, let's see. In that inning, that's the Rosario double you talked about. Austin Wells gets a 2-out single, and then he's thrown out at second on a bang-bang play. But the Yankees couldn't challenge because they were out of challenges.
I don't understand the catcher's interference. It clearly hit. It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Do they get an explanation on that? Or do they just say, well, it wasn't conclusive? And it's like, what?
I think it happened too early in the game. No one's going to ask. I don't know.
What do you mean it's not conclusive? That made it 6-8. Judge intentional walk. That's back in play. Belly with a big double that goes under Santander's glove, which that was one of the pregame decisions on Toronto's side, was to give Santander the start over Miles Straw for going offense over defense, so it backfires on them there. That's the Rice sack fly, 6-9, nice.
I think you want to look at the Yankees won, right?
Yeah.
They had to score a lot of runs to do it. Who drove in runs? Was it your McMahons, your Volpes, your Wells, or did Stanton drive in 2 and Judge drive in 4?
30-30 Jazz homered.
And 30-30 Jazz homered.
Yeah, it's
and Belly had 2 hits and a walk. And Grisham had a hit and a walk and scored 2 runs. Like, that's who needs to get it done.
Yes. Yeah, the meat of the lineup had been shut down. That's why the Yankees hadn't scored any runs. You need those other guys at the bottom of the lineup to contribute and flip the lineup to the big guys in the lineup. And almost none of it was happening. So,
want to hear a fun stat?
Yes.
This fun stat is presented to you by?
DraftKings, Jim.
Wow.
The DraftKings Sportsbook. Yeah. Go to the DraftKings.
I won my bet on DraftKings.
I won a nice speed bet. It was a panic bet, but it worked. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Also, football's rolling around. Bet a touchdown. You like a football player? You think he's going to score a touchdown? Bet on it at DraftKings or whatever. But if you want to get in on it and you're a new customer, bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code JMBaseball. That's code JMBaseball. Turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. What's your stat, kid?
The Yankees just pulled off their largest comeback ever in an elimination game, rallying from a 6-1 deficit to win 9-6 to avoid a sweep. This was tied for their second biggest comeback in any postseason game in franchise history.
Nice.
It's not good, not bad, huh?
I have the stat they were looking for on the broadcast on the Judge homer.
Yeah.
This was a tweet from Brian Hoke.
Ooh.
Since the creation of StatCast, 2008, nobody has hit a pitch that far inside that was thrown that fast for a home run. 99.7, 1.2 feet inside.
1.2 feet.
That doesn't feel right, but Brian Hoke tweeted
They usually do those in inches.
That's a cool home run, man.
It's really cool. I can't wait to get all the extra footage of that tomorrow.
And how about Judgy back in the dugout pointing at the camera, a little double take?
Yeah, I don't know
I
if
haven't
we've
seen a lot of that.
I don't know if anyone has put out that GIF yet. The double take. Even the Yes post game or whatever we were watching showed it, but they didn't show the double take. He points at the camera like, "Shut your asses up." Turns to walk back to the dugout and then turns back and looks right back at the camera like, "I mean it."
A little Bregman style. I have good news for you.
Yes.
Talkin Yanks did tweet it, and I just saw Dan Rourke retweet it. We tweeted it at 10:27 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah, BBD, we're going to need to put that on the screen because the big man has never showed us this one.
No, he's usually covering the camera to not film the dugout.
Sometimes, and in big moments, we've seen Judge show that little bit of emotion, that first point. That double take is Bregman-esque.
Here it is.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm that guy, pal.
Good for him.
If any of you thought I wasn't that guy, I'm that guy, pal.
Dude, it's so fun because I agreed there was a big strikeout in game 1, but it was really hard to keep ragging on the guy when he was batting 500.
Yeah, I agree.
And all he needed was some people to be on for his hits or come around. But that moment, that isn't against like, okay, it's 6-1 and they're putting in blah, blah, blah reliever and he got like a bad pitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no, the haters and the doubters, there's nothing for them to grab onto on that home run. Now they can say you still might lose the series.
Sure.
And as a team, as the team goes, sure, like we still got to climb out of a hole as a Yankee team. But judge personal performance. That was an 0-2 pitch, 100 inside that he, not like he squeaked it off the pesky pole.
Right.
It was a fucking moonshot that hit the top of the pole. Way up there.
Yeah, and hey, there's no need to overanalyze it because I was going to tell you, if he doesn't do something with that pitch, we say, Judge, what are you swinging at? But in that moment, he said, I'm the best hitter in baseball. If you give me a fastball, pretty much put it anywhere, pal, and I'll deal with it. And he did.
Beebs, could you bring up this? I want to hear Jazz say this, and I want the people here because it sounds funny to me. It's a very quick video from Yankees Videos, SNY Yankees. Jazz in his pink hat was asked if he thought Aaron Judge's home run was going to be fair or foul.
It's Yankee Stadium. Of course.
No, it's funny.
Okay. That was the type beat he had last time.
I thought it was really going to go over the foul pole, and they were going to make the wrong call. It hit the foul pole, and so it didn't have no worries.
You gotta call, take it away from Tampa there.
Crazy. Crazy.
Oh, that's good stuff.
What do you do to line up tomorrow, Jim Buck, too?
All right, so they haven't announced.
What do you think they do?
I don't want to play that game yet. I want to just play what I do.
Okay.
Because sometimes I have a more solid thought process on what I think they'll do.
Right.
And sometimes I have a more solid of like, well, if I was managing, this is what I'd do.
Right.
They're going to do a bullpen game.
Yeah.
Gossman said everyone's available tomorrow. I just don't know who's starting yet. I mean, he probably does, but he's not going to announce it until tomorrow to give them the less time. Yeah, Schneider said that. Caballero, for me, has to be in the starting lineup. And it's not an indictment on Volpe or McMahon. It's balance for the beginning of the order, beginning of the lineup. If they're bullpenning, just start that way, and then you can bring McMahon in. It's really for McMahon, not Volpe, to be honest, because I want 4 righties.
Can I ask why not Rosario?
I think he's better as a pinch hitter and off the bench, and I don't like his defense.
It's Cam Schlittler pitching. And I don't know if Caballero really changes that part of the lineup where Rosario would.
Rosario
didn't get
third
to a
baseman
ball.
for Cam.
And Caballero got to a ball. I don't want to lose out on defense against this team. I would go Caballero. I also, if he gets on base, he can do more and be more of a menace. And you can have McMahon on the bench. You can pinch hit Rosario and then use McMahon for defense. That's what I would do. I don't know what they're going to do. I want another righty in there for the balance. I don't want it to be 6 lefties and 3 righties. I think you create easy lanes for them to attack. And you force yourself to kind of have to pinch hit real early in the game. Where if you can create some balance at the beginning, just makes Schneider's job a little harder.
Yeah, and that's where I think they might have already tipped their hand in this. That I think they go Rosario, and I think I like Rosario because the last we saw from Cam Schlittler, he threw 8 innings of 12 strikeout ball, and the Jays are going to have their lefty lineup in. That Caballero doesn't affect how they treat the bottom of the lineup, where if you have Rosario and Volpe versus lefties down there, that messes with them. And what Caballero provides off the bench, we've heard Boone rant and rave about that, where you still have Paul Goldschmidt to pinch hit in a big spot. And then you have McMahon to defend or potentially pinch hit. Where's Dominguez?
He's taking the massage gun and hammering the ceiling of the dugout after home runs. Yeah, do you start Goldie? Lead him off?
If they have a lefty opener?
Yeah.
Then does that make you unbalanced all of a sudden?
Then you'd have to change. If they announce a lefty opener, does that change?
I don't think so. I think you're playing 9 innings. We just saw it tonight. We've seen Toronto's full bullpen now. Like, I think the balance and those lanes that Cora was excited to play, and he was playing early on, you got to take those away.
So Trent, Judge, Belly, Stanton, Rice, Rosario, Jazz, Volpe, Wells. That's what you think they're going to do?
Trent, Judge, Belly, Stanton, Rice, Rosario, Jazz, Volpe, Wells.
Yeah. That's what they did game 3.
That was game 3. That was the last Schlittler start.
Yeah.
And they knew the Red Sox wanted lanes to attack.
Just how much the Blue Jays can bunt and can put the ball in play, I would feel more comfortable with Caballero over there.
Yeah, I think we said similar things going into that Boston game.
Yeah. I feel like Rosario's not good for extra base hits anyway.
Did he have a double today?
Double today.
And a couple during the season. But I don't think they're that much different. I know Rosario's more trusted bat, which is why I like to be able to drag and drop him into a situation. But I find either way. I just think you need to play that lineup with balance when they're bullpenning. I think they will. I think they'll go 4 righties.
Yeah, I don't even know. Does Rosario have a person to pinch hit for that's not McMahon?
Well, it would be if what we talked about with Trent, which I don't think they're going to do because they haven't done it.
I don't think they're going to do, and Trent's at bats for his lefties have looked better. So I don't know if Rosario has a drop spot. Drop spot.
Yeah. Unless you just pinch it for Caballero, then put McMahon at defense just because he's what you need. You need pop over, but I don't think he's got much pop these days.
Yeah, 3 for 1 there.
Just need more righties if they're bullpenning. Any chance they do something weird? Can they do Gossman on short rest?
I mean, they could. I think the thing that's interesting for me is, in theory, let's say Cam Schlittler has another crazy performance. Yankees win this game, and Toronto just bullpens. Toronto has a Gossman-Yasavage decision to make, which...
Would Yasavage be available?
For Game 5, right? That he went toe-to-toe with Max Fried.
Same as what Fried.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, if Toronto... again, that's a good decision for them because both those guys look good, but you're also putting yourself in a compromised situation that... I think there's a chance that if Gossman's in play for them, I don't know about starting or out of the bullpen, you'd feel okay about, like, Yasavage kind of earned the start, right? So I don't know. I think
they probably try to split that game. They probably could kill their bullpen today, if they need to. Right. Obviously, knowing they have Gossman and Yasavage at home.
I think you probably see Gossman in the pen, and they only use him emergency / Chris Sale type situation.
And they didn't extend Yasavage and his start.
They saved some of his bullets.
70-something.
Who could they start if they start a lefty?
So the one we didn't see today was Brule, but he's their third lefty. Or Lauer. Lauer has starting experience, and he's had some good runs, but he's not like a power arm. That he was in that first game. So they have 4 lefties in the pen, 4 righties in the pen. A couple of their righties actually had, who had good outings today? Yariel and Tommy Nance were their only clean guys at the end of this game. So you wonder if they try to build off that. 2 guys that had good years for them, too.
What was their lineup for Game 1 versus Crochet?
Yanks?
Yeah.
I thought we don't talk about that lineup anymore.
Well, I just like what's if they start a lefty, would they lead Goldie off? Then can you because
I
that
don't think so.
that game they did such crazy things.
But they knew Crochet was going to be in there for 3
That's what I'm
times
saying. I'm trying to
through.
build a hybrid of
Yeah.
like a platoon proof lineup where Goldie is out first and Rosario is also out. I don't know.
I think then you leave yourself without righties again, right?
They asked Boone about John Schneider, saying they won't announce their starter until tomorrow. Everyone will be available. They asked Boone. He said, just means he'll have to run his most balanced lineup out there.
So that's going to be the same lineup as Game 3 of the wild card.
And I
Yeah.
guess the
Martino said would think that could mean Caballero at third. Don't know if that means that was heavily alluded to in Boone's answer or that's his thought. But
the bigger thing to watch is John Schneider going to have a hat.
Oh, yeah. He said he only packed one hat.
And
they change uniforms after losses?
you see John Schneider at Lids. Hope he texted for the code. Thanks, Lids.
Schlittler was, someone in the chat says, Schlittler was fueled by the hate in that game against Boston. Stop acting like it's repeatable. Well, Blue Jays fans are way more aggressive. So
Yeah, and Schlitt's been pretty active on the internet, so if he needs that, he can find it in
I
droves.
promise one of them tweeted something mean. I haven't found it yet, but
yeah. I mean, Red Sox and Yankees hate each other. Blue Jays fans are way more annoying than Red Sox fans these years. So I think Schlitter can find some motivation if he needs it.
Can I have one final note.
Yeah.
I'm going to text it to BBD in the Talkin Yanks chat right now.
Okay.
It is a tweet
Okay.
from October 7th of 2017.
Wow.
It is a motivational quote. It says, every great story happened when someone decided not to give up.
Wow.
Do you know who tweeted that?
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Oh, I remember. That was sad, though.
L. Gary Sanchez.
Who's he quoting?
Theodore Dumbledore. Albus Dumbledore? Teddy Roosevelt. Leroy Jenkins. Winona Ryder.
A lot of people have said it.
Come on, Schlitt. Come on, lineup. Let's change our
Ooh.
weekend plans, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Saw a lot of their bullpen today. They saw a lot of ours. Series is on.
Both ways.
Win, and then make me sweat out going back to Toronto.
Woo!
Let's go, Yanks. Tell them, Grabs.
Go Yankees.